A theoretical or emergent networked online space with digitally persistent environments that people inhabit as avatars for synchronous interactions and experiences, accessing the shared virtual space through virtual reality, augmented reality, game consoles, mobile devices, or conventional computers. The metaverse combines two already existing ideas, virtual reality and augmented reality, into a very real digital life. The main goal of metaverse is to make our virtual lives as important as our physical reality. Virtual reality involves wearing a headset that immerses you in a three-dimensional environment. You interact with virtual things using motion sensing controllers and communicate with others using a microphone. The ownership of purely digital assets is getting more popular by day, with the likes of cryptocurrency and NFTs, which will play a big part in the metaverse. The tech giants, Facebook and Microsoft, are trying out new ways to collaborate. Nike are ready to make virtual sneakers. Moreover, there will be hybrid workplaces and video-based schooling, yet some features of the metaverse are already available. Virtual reality headsets, lightning-fast broadband speeds, always online games like Minecraft, Fortnite, Roblox. Metaverse is looking to expand globally. We are looking to become more real than ever, virtually. Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of newly rebranded Facebook, now Meta, predicts that the implementation of Metaverse's main capabilities will take 5 to 10 years to become common. There is clearly a kind of a desire to move that direction. This metaverse concept gives us the opportunity to create any universe that we have ever imagined. That way we match people by various interests and at least they have something to start a conversation with. It might end up in a real friendship, real relationship, or it might just be a one-off thing, but we give a chance for those random communications to happen. And that's the goal of artificial intelligence, to be that social bridge between the people. Gone will be the days where an artist must create your character. In the metaverse, you will simply and literally be you. The metaverse is a fundamental shift in the way we interact as people. The metaverse can really revolutionize the way we bring products to the market. You can completely reinvent yourself and be anyone you want to be. It is metaverse experiences coming to life in a way that is transformative to how people meet and get to know each other on a dating or social discovery platform, and is much more akin to how people interact in the real world. The next platform and medium will be even more immersive and embodied internet where you are just in the experience, not just looking at it, and we call this the metaverse. It feels like the only people that are excited about the metaverse are business CEOs, and rightfully so. Money after all is what people thrive for in this world. Money means power, and if this is the next step in digital evolution, then it is better to be the first ones up to date with the newest technology to find new ways in the metaverse to make your brain buy their product. They see it as another business opportunity. I think businesses are even happy to move their products to the digital world. It makes things easier for them. However, I do want to point out that not all business opportunities in the metaverse are with bad intentions. There are several business applications ranging from teaching future surgeons to providing product demonstrations to retail personnel. The leadership of the computer giant Nvidia, for example, believes that investing in metaverse simulations of manufacturing and logistics will minimize waste and promote better business solutions. Microsoft are looking to implement its Mesh platform into Microsoft Teams, enabling virtual meetings with mixed reality headsets. However, the future of metaverse is so unpredictable that out of every good intention can come out bad consequences. No matter how real the metaverse will feel, it will never be able to replace real life and real interactions. And let's be realistic for a second. Who is the leading figure in the metaverse future right now? That's right, it's Mark Zuckerberg. Business-wise, I could see some ways the metaverse would be somewhat beneficial, but when it comes to your social life, it is just not necessary. We have enough problems in social media and the way it rewires your brain. To not go into too much detail, I will name just a few problems we are facing right now, and if any of these seem familiar to you, then you are not the only one. People are easily peer pressured into doing things because other people do the thinking for them. It is easier to go off the rails using social media because we only connect to the people we like that share similar interests. We like the posts that agree with our opinion. We skip those that contradict our nature. Usually, social media apps have a smart algorithm to recommend content that fits your narrative, almost like creating a fake world. Those are information bubbles. Comparing your life with other people on social media is a common trait that can hurt your self-esteem. When you feel like everything in your life is going downhill and then you just go on social media and see other people having time of their lives, eating at fancy restaurants, flexing their luxurious belongings, and then you compare it to your life and feel like a sore loser. Combine that with your own social life. Of course, social media is all about posting your good memories. So let's say after taking 100 selfies you decide for the one that you are going to post on Instagram, because people want to see the best of you. You post the picture and you start receiving recognition, likes are flying in, and it honestly feels good to be recognized. You receive your personal best, 100 likes. That is the reward system that social media is all about. Actively using social media may cause a widespread reaction in the reward area of the brain. During a social media study in 2016 published in Psychological Science journal, researchers discovered that the same areas of the brain that are activated when people eat chocolate or win money were stimulated when the teens saw a bunch of likes on a photo, their own or their friends' photos. The same effect can be applied to adults. The scariest part is that with excessive social media use, the brain releases a reward chemical, dopamine, which is the same chemical that releases when people addictively shop, gamble, or use drugs. And with dopamine it's tricky, because once you are used to specific doses, it is not enough anymore. You will need more. In social media it mostly means two things. Either you will become a social media addict and spend increasingly more time there, or let's return to the picture narrative. Let's say that you post another picture, but this time something is wrong. It flops horribly, you only receive half the likes, and you feel devastated because you spent so much time to make that photo so perfect. Or let's say that you receive constantly 100 likes on your pictures, and after a while it gets boring. Even though a lot of people recognize you, the happy feeling that you once felt is gone. That is where people usually go to the extremes. They will cross the boundaries that otherwise they will not cross just to get the recognition they feel like they deserve. They want that happy feeling that they once had, that dopamine. That addiction has already kicked in. So social life in the metaverse might be a problem purely because of the same reasons that social media is bad. After all, Mark Zuckerberg is the one who wants to implement our social lives into the metaverse. And on the contrary, some people might ask if that is necessarily bad. Well, the short answer would be yes. The long answer, well, in the metaverse you could be anyone that you want, live your best life that you deserve, travel the world, do business, and that is the life that you want to live. Why make friends in the real world when you can just hop on metaverse? And that is exactly the point when things will get messy. There is one more issue that occurs in social media that I guarantee will transition into metaverse. That is bullying and harassment. This will always be a thing because people feel safer behind a computer screen. That is where I believe legislation and jurisdiction will need to come in play, because harassment is already a real thing in VR games, same with social media, and cyberbullying will follow from social media onto the metaverse. Right now I don't fully know how, but I can imagine people spamming hateful messages or just making fun of someone's digital appearance, making fun for spending too much time and money in metaverse, bullied for having no real life friends, and etc. But as saddened as I am to say this, unfortunately cyberbullying is probably one of the least worrisome concepts that we will need to challenge. Another issue that worries me is the security of metaverse. Just take a look at some of the data that Facebook collects. Likes, comments, messages, groups you join, your political views, the people you tag in your photos, IP address, ads you click on, which browser you're using, how often you visit the site, how long you stay on the site, and how long you look at each post. So this information is used to make your newsfeed perfect and make sure that you stay on Facebook for as long as possible. And also it helps to create personalized ads, but the issue is that most of this information is collected without users' consent. Now the Facebook giant is entering the metaverse because they of all people know what will succeed, and taking into account Facebook's reputation, then in metaverse they will be able to collect data about your facial expressions, emotions, voice, and places where you like to spend the most time at. This data will better than ever be able to predict your next move, what ads you will click on, and what will keep you in the metaverse. The danger starts once virtual life takes over your real life. If the metaverse will become as addictive as social media and becomes the perfect life we have always dreamed of living, then there will be no reason to get off it. And once metaverse will hit mainstream and all the major events people will be talking about converts from real life to virtual life, then the people who aren't yet a part of this virtual reality will be hit by the FOMO, almost forcing them to join the metaverse, and then the rest of the popularity will become the outcasts. Nevertheless, in 5 to 10 years time, this type of virtual life will be technologically possible. In the public's opinion that I have seen, it is just not necessary. The metaverse that Facebook wants to implement is the perfect reason to go out in the real life right now and make real connections with people.